Hi, my name's Jeremy Brune, and first of all, thanks to my viewer who's had the patience to wait for this 16th episode of this restoration project, which I hope you'll agree is of a rather rare and beautiful car. Now, to think I've been working on this project since 2011, and I've been held up for the past 5 years over a mysterious engine overrun problem that no end of people have tried to solve. Well, a miracle happened last week, so let me introduce my friend and neighbour Neil, who understands a great deal about car mechanics and has worked on the Ford Zetec engine before.
I have to do that again.
Alright, the idle
Oil control valve, yeah. So we got an adjustable one, and we adjusted it because we had already put in some new gaskets, so it seems that was the problem. So by having an adjustable one, it seems to solve the problem here. Yeah.
Well, it's because of your great knowledge of motor cars that you've just looked at every which way, every possible solution. And for the first time in years, the car is now ticking over at about, what, 900 RPM?
950,
which is what it should be. That's amazing. We've replaced virtually everything other than the body. Now, one of the items Neil replaced was the PCV Regulator Valve, which is a crankcase breather, I believe, and it can stick and affect the engine revs. Now, why wasn't this investigated before? The car has been laid up at a local motor repair shop for several months with someone trying to solve the engine over revving problem. Now, the car was undrivable when I was asked to collect it. It revved so high on startup that it just would not get into gear, so the car was eventually brought back on a breakdown wagon. Also minus the new battery that was in the car, but the garage did replace that later. But this whole episode nearly put me off the road, as while manoeuvring the car into my garage it rolled forward, nearly smashing the gull-wing door off, and I lunged for the handbrake, badly gashing my leg in the process. Yes, it got infected. When the car was returned, Neil shared my determination to sort this problem out. One thing that had suddenly malfunctioned recently was the alternator. It just wasn't charging. And because of endless wading through incorrectly described alternators on eBay, that not only did he eventually find the right one, not cheap, but that led him to believe that the recently replaced idle air control valve may not be the correct one. Well, he then discovered the tiny black painted adjustment screw, and wow, it was music to my ears as the revs dropped as he adjusted it. He also discovered the clutch pedal adjuster had been cut short on the original car build, so we spent a morning sorting that out. And for once I now have a clutch that works and it slips into gear smoothly. But we've tried virtually everything over the years to try and solve the engine overrun. Unbelievable. So it's a happy day. There's the inspection plate that I cut out, and we've got to do a few more things like change the brake switch.
We need to put a bush inside here.
A bush?
Yeah, to keep this nice and straight, yeah?
Right, okay.
It's like a nylon, and plus you probably can machine one to put in
What
there.
we're doing is we're replacing all the original pipes, you know, like breather pipes, and obviously the main ducting for the inflow of air. And I've basically replicated the airbox, and I've got a bit more work to do. Thanks, Neil, if you could put that on there. The tape is a bit ugly at the moment, so that the idea is that I will have more ducting here that will take in cold air from outside the car, so you've got the ideal air intake solution. This is the first time I've driven the car for several years now, so fingers crossed that the engine is settling down to a normal idle speed. Wow. Gear change much better.
Yeah, it's great.
I replaced the original 2-litre Zetec engine with a 1.25-litre Zetec engine. It's for economy reasons, cheaper tax and insurance, and importantly fuel economy. It should give around 50 mpg. Now you may wonder why I've documented this long, drawn out and somewhat frustrating but ultimately rewarding project. And let me say my aim is to improve on what is already a fabulous car. It's a kit car and wasn't built particularly well. And the designer, John Raffo, genius though he was, didn't really consider how to get at the engine once the body was dropped onto the chassis. Now I want to make things accessible for maintenance and repairs, and for everything to function well, right down to the soundproofing and the temperature control in the cockpit, so that the driving experience is optimized. And above all, I want to enhance what is already a beautiful design. But importantly, I want to do my small part in keeping this valuable aspect of our culture alive. I mean, really, it's quite shameful that young people today are deprived of the opportunity to use their hands to build things, whether it's doing woodwork or in fact understanding cars and tinkering around with vehicles, as indeed my generation was fortunate enough to do when we were young. And of course you can remain young forever. It's sad that there isn't the interest as well as the opportunity. These are valuable life skills. Understanding mechanics, how things work, how to fabricate things using different materials such as metal, wood and plastics, and improvising, to make various components that maybe are not available or will improve the functionality of the car. Also, I'm hoping to use my incredible tube bender, maybe for heating the cockpit. We'll have to see. So this is the fun of it, and I have to say my perseverance over the years is beginning to pay off. I'm far more motivated to complete the project now. Now please check out a short history of my cars, not to mention my motorbikes. I guess I spent much of my youth messing around with vehicles while most of my peer group were getting married and having babies. In the next episode, Neil will complete the fiddly exhaust system, making it fit into its tiny space, while I start making modifications to the rear body section so that just one person can lift it off and lift it back on, and that will be a challenge. Well, thanks for watching. Please keep tuned. If you like my music, the initial music was fast blues played on my guitar. I'm actually putting all my music on a separate music channel now, so I will need some subscribers. Okay, well, please keep tuned to this project, and thanks for watching.